Hey guys, this is Sunbelow. This is our Q&A coming at you from isolation here. I'm Jay. We got Garrison and Will, and we're just going to kick things off.
What is going on? Hello.
All right.
Hope everybody's doing well, staying safe. We're going to answer some questions, have a few laughs. All right. So our first question, we've got a couple questions from Steve Reese of Does It Doom. He runs an awesome YouTube channel, does a lot of gear demos. Lately, he's been doing, he's been getting some pretty big names on his channel for interviews. He just had Kirk and Jimmy Bauer from Down. So head over to his channel, check it out. So he says, growing up in Windsor, Ontario, they had a pretty awesome local stoner doom scene. If you look back on the past 20 to 30 years, what Canadian bands had the most impact and influence on your music?
Well, I mean, growing up in Oshawa, going back, 15 years or so, we had a lot of more of like a thrash death metal scene here. So more local acts that would be influences on, getting in the local scene or even just playing live would be Devoured, Punch Drunk, Necromatory, Fuck the Facts from Montreal, bigger groups being Cataclysm, Cryptopsy, also from Quebec, and then, of course, the almighty Rush.
Yeah, I was definitely going to mention Rush, too, even though they're not, like, a huge influence on, like, necessarily our sound, but, obviously they're a legendary Canadian band. Voivod's a pretty sick Canadian metal band, too. But, yeah, kind of like, me and Garrison kind of came up in the same scene in Oshawa, and a lot of the same local bands were kind of influences on us. Even I remember hanging out with the guys from Atomacy a lot. But yeah, Devoured definitely. Blackguard from Quebec, that was a sick band.
Yeah. Also known as Prophagus Mortis.
Yeah, original.
Well, I'm a little bit younger than these guys, so growing up, I would say my Canadian influences is more like Billy Talent, Alexis on Fire. But again, like Jay said, I wouldn't really consider that to be like a direct influence on the music that we necessarily play, but it was definitely inspirational for me growing up. And then Rush as well. Obviously, that was my first concert that I ever went to. Neil Peart, rest in peace.
Spoiler alert for later question.
Oh, shit. Sorry, dude. This video is sponsored by Beer and Weed.
We'll get to that, too.
Yeah, like I said, growing up, like for me, it was mostly bands like Alexis on Fire, Billy Talent, Rush, obviously. Tragically Hip was pretty cool. More recently, I really like Glorious Sons. But as far as like doom and stuff type music goes, it's more of the bands that we kind of played with and that we have grown a relationship with. Bands like Cron Goblin, Pale Mare, Cross Dog, Doom and Blue, Black Mastiff, and being able to kind of go all over the place, even actually making it out to Montreal for a show. And kind of growing a relationship with these bands. I think it's a lot cooler than just looking up to them. You actually get to be with them and get to grow kind of with these bands, which is pretty awesome.
Okay, so Steve's second question, and this is in light of the fact that I recently picked up one of his pedal boards. It's got basically like the same Tolex as my orange amplifier, so it's a perfect fit. But he asks, what 5 pedals do you have on your board right now, excluding tuner? So right now on my board is, it's pretty much changing because I can't make my mind up about what fuzz pedal I like best. But right now it's the Earthquaker Devices Acapulco Gold, a FET 120 that I just picked up that's made by Fuzzlord Effects, the Green Russian Big Muff reissue, and then I have a MXR Phaser Phase 90, and then I have the Hendrix Wah. So that's basically my pedal board. We're going to be getting a little bit more in depth with this coming up soon. I think we're all going to do a rig rundown video, so you can look forward to that, get a little bit more in depth about it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Next up, we have a question from our friend John Asher of Asher Media Relations. You can check out his webpage. He's got us on a couple of. He's got us on a sick Bandcamp playlist. That's. I think it's got like I don't know, many hours of metal. And he's also got us on a Spotify playlist as well. But Asher asks, when will you have new tunes for people to hear for isolation days? I wonder if by the isolation days it means like while we're in quarantine, if we have anything new to bring up. We've recently kind of had a bout of really sharing a lot of ideas. We've got one new song that's basically done that we did play at one of our recent shows in Montreal. It's called Cronwall Neanderthal. But we've got about 3 other ideas in the works. But the unfortunate thing is we can't really get together and jam, which, a lot of the stuff that we do is, it kind of comes out of just like loose jamming. So we're working on stuff, but I don't know exactly when we'll have anything specifically.
Yeah, I think
if you guys have anything to add.
I think the answer to that question is when we're able to get back in a room together and just work these songs out, and for us, the writing process is usually that Jay will bring a song and we'll jam it out for like a month, and then it's basically finished. So for us, expect within the next couple months after isolation. Shouldn't be too much further after that.
Yeah.
I mean, I am currently working on 2 songs that we're throwing ideas back and forth, Jay and I. So we're going to come back to the first rehearsal with probably 3 or 4 new tunes on the go. So we're gearing up.
Radio, look out.
It is kind of a shame, too. It's a bit of a shame because I remember, too, like right at the end of February, we played a few shows in a row, and it was like, yeah, we all were like really chomping at the bit to get back in jam because we had some new ideas, and then all this hit and pretty much derailed that for the time being. But we're finding ways to work.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a couple of questions here from Red Vixen Media. So the first one is, what is your favorite show that you guys have played?
Well, for me, I'm going to have to say the Opera House, just because it's kind of a place that you dream of playing and then end up playing it with a band that we actually saw as a band a year prior at the Danforth Graveyard. So I would say just for the being able to be on the Opera House stage, I would say that would be my favorite show.
Fuck yeah. I mean, I think the Opera House is going to be the more popular vote, so I'm going to go against that, and I'm going to actually say probably the weekend that we played Cherry Colas and then played the house party in London, because that not only was 2 completely different shows, playing a Pay What You Can BYOB house party versus Cherry Colas, but also just spending 2 days with the boys and road tripping it.
Yeah, that was a hell of a time.
Yeah, that was sick. It was like a little mini like tour kind of preview. I almost would say the Opera House for basically all the reasons that Will said. Like, it was great to play there, and obviously playing with the Graveyard was amazing. But I'm gonna go with the show that we played 2 days after that, where we went to Montreal and we played at the Piranha Bar with Doom and Blue and Old Soul. And I think it was just basically the crowd response that we got there. Like, everybody was just so into it. I don't know. I feel like maybe we had like a little bit of nerves when we were at the Opera House. At least I did, and I think that was kind of gone by the time we got to Montreal. So I'm gonna go with that.
Being able to stay at my aunt's place in Montreal was pretty cool too.
Yeah, that was.
And bringing a merch guy on tour.
Yeah, very professional.
I got a free case of beer, so I'll take that.
Shout out to Dion.
Yeah, shout out Dion.
Merch guy.
Okay, so next question is for each of you, what motivated you to join a band?
Yeah, you go
join
first.
A band? Fucking just to play music, to riff with someone else, to create, I guess. just to create music, to create art, or to create a sound, you know?
Yeah,
I'm just gonna, I'll leave it at, I'll just riff, because I wanted to riff.
How pike of you.
Yeah, it's very fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, like, there's kind of two different answers. Is like what would motivate you to join a band in any like circumstance, but with this band, I think it was like I took a long time off of playing guitar, and like getting back into it, it kind of just like woke something back up in me that like hadn't really explored in a long time. And yeah, like Garrison's saying, getting to riff again, getting to play with other people, playing live shows, getting that rush from that, working on songs, like yeah, just getting into all of that is basically what motivated.
If we're talking this band specifically, then it's a weird motivation, but I was at college and there was a 6-week teacher strike, and when they came back to school, you had the option to drop out and have all your money back, or come back at a discounted rate. And I said, give me my money back, and I took that as a sign. Put out a Kijiji ad to be a drummer looking to play in band. Sorry, and these guys reached out and couldn't be fucking happier, honestly.
So I guess Kijiji should be all of our answers.
Yeah.
This video is sponsored by Kijiji. This band is sponsored by Kijiji.
Yeah, this band is sponsored by Kijiji.
Thank you, Kijiji. All right. Okay. Have you each had any musical mentors in your life? I can say for me, I guess probably my cousin Jeff Gunn. He does like a lot of solo acoustic stuff. He's got a couple albums out. His most recent one, Sonic Tales, on Spotify. It's not really even like in the style necessarily that like inspires me or anything, but when I was younger, seeing him play guitar kind of got me interested in it. And he's been just like a good mentor, just for trying to organize things. And we've gone to NAMM a couple times, and just kind of seeing how he operates has been like a good influence. So that's what I would go with.
I wouldn't say I had a direct musical mentor. I had a really awesome drum teacher growing up named Tim Jennings. He taught me how to beat the shit out of a drum kit, but still understand what it meant to jam with a band, and understand that you are the drummer, and you can make the most of being the drummer. But at the end of the day, you got to be the one that keeps the beat. And if you can't keep the beat, what's the point, right? So, and I think that definitely came through when the three of us got together. So I guess I would say Tim Jennings, and just listening to records, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, all the good shit.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I don't really have any musical mentors. I maybe would give a shout out like Will to my first guitar teacher that was pretty sick. Going into guitar lessons with Darren White, we just ripped Cannibal Corpse and Cradle of Filth and everything like that. A little bit of theory, but a lot of just loose jams. But other than that, just weed and beer and records, baby.
Amen.
Maybe sprinkle a little bit of horror movies in there.
Amen.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right, we're doing fucking great, boys. This is awesome. I've already had 2
banging
beers.
out these questions. All right, we got a potentially divisive question on deck. What is your favorite Sabbath album? Will, I'll let you start it off.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I thought this would be just kind of decisive. I thought we'd all kind of say the same thing. I'm going to say Master of Reality for pretty obvious reasons. Yeah, I don't need to say anything. Master of Reality. Yeah, that's it. You don't need to explain. That needs no explanation.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just the heaviness of that album. The other two are like the blueprint of heavy metal, but that one just kind of when it's tuned down, it just is that much more heavier. It's still, when you listen to that album, I can't believe that it came out in like 1971. So that's my vote, with Sabbath Bloody Sabbath as a close second.
71, best year in rock. Prove me wrong.
All right. Well, I don't like how you said the other 2 Sabbath albums, Jay.
I meant the preceding.
So I'm gonna go again, against the grain, and I'll say that my number one pick would be the self-titled album for the introductory to the sound and the experimentation. And then the second would be, of course, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath.
So where does Master fall in your countdown?
Well, it was number one until I listened to the two of you talk, and then I put it down to number three.
I thought one person was going to answer that question because that's pretty fucking unanimous.
Yeah, we really. I thought this was going to be divisive. I guess it ended up being that way. It was like a self-fulfilling prophecy by even saying it. So I should have just shut up and answered the question.
I'll just give it a different angle.
All right. Yeah, exactly. All right. How do you stay inspired during these times? Garrison, let's lead off with you.
I think I've answered this question 3 times already, but I'll say it again. Weed, beer, horror movies, and records.
Is there anything that changed about, like, living in the isolated state that we're in?
I've had to grab bigger quantities of beer and weed.
And how has that affected you?
Splendidly.
Great. I love it. No, in all seriousness, I mean, I've been going for walks. I mean, I'm lucky enough to live with a forest right behind my house, so I go for walks every day and listen to 1 or 2 records a day. Come home and I'll just riff for a couple hours, or so I wasn't doing that, say, 2 months ago, so I guess that's changed. I have more spare time to do more mental relaxation activities.
True. Yeah, it's a bit of a silver lining, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade it for the world.
I like Gary. I've been going for a lot of walks. I don't have a forest behind my house, but I basically just do fucking laps in my neighborhood. And just been trying to, use this time to rebuild and recharge my batteries and make sure that once it's all over, it's time to go full force and just bleed me dry. So I've been trying to just recharge basically in this time and hang out in my studio and try to find new tones and like I said, ready to explode once this is all back to the new not normal and be able to jam again.
Yeah, sorry, to add to my point, that I've spent a lot of time just honing in on that pedal board and the in my head and just getting the best sound out of it and just experimenting with different things. So again, just having that extra time and not being in a rush to get to this or back to that, just being able to sit there and play around,
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely like a benefit, I think, to being a musician during these times, because I mean, really, you just have that little bit of extra time to play around with stuff that maybe you couldn't otherwise. So if you weren't into music, then I mean, I could see people getting bored for sure, but it's definitely a good pastime to have now, and just to mess around with ideas and throw stuff back and forth. All right, this is kind of a similar question, but how do you continue to work on new material? We kind of covered some of the questions are a little similar, but it's basically just recording and throwing ideas back and forth.
Yeah.
We got a lot of time to do it, so that's kind of the way to go.
Yeah, we've had a couple song names or ideas in mind, just connecting riffs or writing riffs to that and throwing back and forth ideas. That's it. Just getting the yay or nay, basically.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, like I do have another band that I play in, that I do rhythm guitar and vocals in. It's called the Electric Cactus, and I've been doing writing for that stuff and playing around in my studio and trying to, like I said, find tones and just get ready for when it's all done. But as far as new material, it's just it's trying to be inspired by these really hard times and continuing to move forward and
Yeah, I mean, one thing, these are, it's pretty grim times, but it kind of lends itself to writing heavy music for sure.
Oh, fuck.
Absolutely, yeah.
I've written some heavy riffs. Let's go.
Yeah, my other band is getting a lot darker, that's for sure.
Lights out on the electric cactus.
Yeah, seriously. It's definitely not going to be an unplugged album, that's for sure. No Kumbaya Save the Whales. Fuck no.
It's a hell of a time to be a dooman, that's for sure.
We need to make a whole video explaining what a dooman and a human is. No,
yeah, it's basically I
don't think
it's a doom human.
It's the doomans and the coolmans.
The Coolmans.
Yes.
The coolmans.
Yeah, don't be a coolman, be a dooman.
Be a dooman. Or the
All right, now that's covered. We got next question, Jay.
Now we got the answer to that burning question.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, I got this question a couple of times. Which of your songs do you guys each enjoy playing the most?
Oh, fuck.
Oof.
I would personally say I enjoy Holy Drifter as well as Green Visions the most. For that intro and just that doomy fucking bridge to the fucking first verse. And then the rest of the song fucking kicks ass. I love that bass line during the chorus. Yeah. I'll go with one answer, Green Visions.
Sweet. I probably would go with Holy Drifter. I never really get tired of playing that song. Seems to always get a good reaction to. Holy Drifter.
I'm gonna say my least favorite song to play is Holy Drifter.
Yeah, we played it at like every show since it was written.
Okay, let me clarify a little bit. I love that song, and it's so much fun to play, but it is the most tiring thing I've ever done in my life, ever. And it's every night that every time we jam, we have to take a couple minutes after that song because I'm exhausted. And I remember when we wrote that song, I would try to play these, like these halftime rhythms, and they're like, it was a lot cooler when you played the 16ths on the ride. And I was like, okay, yeah, we'll do that. And then that turned into the final, what is it, 9.5 minutes of that song is just straight 16ths on the ride, I'm pretty sure. And so I'm going to say that's my least favorite to play, which doesn't answer the question, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick fuck you. And cool, I would say my favorite song to play would be Solar Burnout. That's a
slow one.
That's a slow
not when you kind of just settle in on.
I'm a big fan of the slow burn, not gonna lie.
Hey, I respect the fact that you picked the other fucking 15-minute song that we had though.
Yeah, but I get to sit back a bit in that one. I don't have to be Yeah. I get to enjoy the ride. I get to Solar Burnout, dude. right before you hit the cron wall.
That's after Drifter by the sounds of it.
Oh yeah.
Those songs make a great back-to-back because it usually eats up almost the entirety of a 30-minute set. So play those two songs, we're done. Call it a day.
When we get our favorite and Will's favorite.
When I was telling people that we had an opening set at the Opera House and it was 35 minutes, they asked me what the set list was, and I told them 3.5 songs. 35 minutes of music for Sun Below is 3.5 songs.
Watch out, Rock 94.9.
If that Solar Burnout is off the charts, man.
Is that a station?
Chart topper, bro.
The record's gonna drop, and we're going to the top. All right, here's a question where we kind of got to look forward a bit. Where would you hope to see the band in 2 years?
2 years.
When do we start playing shows again?
Yeah, that's a great question. Hopefully a lot sooner than 2 years from now. Hopefully we're not preparing for a comeback gig.
Holy fuck. Or a reunion from the quarantine fucking breakup.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that we're gonna veto that question just because we can't play shows right now. So
no, fuck that.
Well, 2
fuck
years.
That. I want to. No, we don't veto that question. No, in 2 years, I want our first full length done, and our second, if not recording, then on tour from the first. Like I want some sort of Canadian tour, either coast to coast, us to east, us to west, whatever. In 2 years, I'd like to see us. Obviously, the first record's done because we're doing that. We're planning on doing that in the next few months. So we should be either recording the second album or still fucking rocking and writing it.
I mean, if we're going on pace with how we've released music in the past, we're gonna be on full length number 5 in 2 years. So I don't know why you're lowballing us like that, but I'm gonna
Gotta get on
you
a run
fucking
here.
vetoed the question. You didn't want to talk about it at all.
Now he's got some strong opinions.
Now you come back with a fucking you want to fucking cheap shot me like that? You want to sucker punch me like that? All right, retake the fucking question. Retake the question. We're going stadiums. All right, retake the question. Ask it again, Jay. Question number 10. What is it?
Okay,
question number 10.
Yeah, let's look what we got next. Okay, where do we see ourselves in 2 years' time? Gary, what do you got? Actually, Will, you want to take it first or veto?
Keeping all of that.
Will goes first. No, I want to hear what Will has to say.
I'm not cutting any
Will
of
first.
that out.
Fuck that shit.
Leaving all of
You put me first, I'm saying we're doing stadiums.
What was the question?
He was laughing while you were reading the question. We should have some sort of like
No, I'm leaving all this in. Fuck it. No, what's the next question? What's the next question?
Just veto it. Just veto that question. Who was that from?
I'm leaving all
No,
of it.
he's going to leave this whole response
I'm leaving all of it.
But I want to answer it too.
Oh, yeah.
Piece of shit.
These fucking rhythm sections, they argue with each other, they get into it, they want to veto, they want to cuss each other out, and then they forget about me. So my fucking answer is, yeah, I want to be on tour at some point. Hopefully we're playing, decent shows, keep the momentum we had before things slowed down going, and at least have this first full-length record out and hopefully more music in the works. All right, no more looking forward. We're going to look back. We're going to look into the past. If you could meet any dead musician, who would it be?
Well, I think we all know my answer. It would be John Bonham. I have the same birthday and try to play drums as much like him as I can. I think I do an okay job. Yeah, John Bonham.
Fuck yeah, dude. On to me. I would say... I'd say probably Charles Manson. I'd have a lot of questions, and I'd really like to have a sit-down conversation with him. But I guess from a more musical standpoint, I'd probably say RJD, baby. Ronnie James Dio. He saw it all, man. Yeah.
Give it up.
Man.
He rocks.
Yeah, I was
everything from Ronnie and the Prophets to Elf to Rainbow to Dio to Heaven and Hell, all
Tenacious
that.
D.
Tenacious D, like fuck, he's seen it all, man. Industry inside and out.
Yeah, basically an unmatched discography.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'd have to go RJD, and if I wasn't wearing a hoodie, I'd show off my tattoo.
Thank God for that hoodie.
I'm not wearing pants.
I'm gonna go. I was thinking about Dio also, but I'm gonna go with Lemmy.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
I think you could just sit down and have an amazing conversation with them. It's kind of weird though. Like I was thinking about this question a little bit, where it's like, I have seen Motorhead live a couple times. and I saw Dio live, and it's like, would you want to meet somebody that like you did actually see, or somebody that like you never would have had a chance to meet, like, you know, somebody like a Lennon or a Hendrix or something that like was dead long before you were born? I don't know, it's kind of weird insight to it, but I think I'd still go Lemmy.
Nice.
Yeah, good question.
All right, to piggyback on that question, so if you could form a band featuring only dead musicians, what would the lineup be?
Ooh, you're banned from heaven and hell.
Nice.
Strong hint.
Mm-hmm.
Probably
So
more of the latter.
I'm gonna say,
now, are we doing which band we would want to see or what band we would want to be in?
Ooh, that's an interesting twist.
Well, I think the band that I would create, I would probably want to be in, but then I would be like
You'd have to kick someone
sorely
out.
lacking compared. Yeah,
All right,
true.
say your band and then tell us who you're going to kick out to join.
Oh,
okay.
I don't want to play in it. I want to watch it. I don't want to play this game. I just want to watch the movie.
All right, let's just do your heaven and hell band. You're not playing in it. Just make a band.
Okay, so I thought of a great dead band, and it'd be like a bizarro world, like alternate reality that features Dio on vocals, Randy Rhoads on guitar. So it's like in some alternate reality where Ozzy never left Sabbath and Dio somehow stumbles upon Rhoads. You throw Lemmy on bass and Bonham on drums and see what that comes out with.
Ooh.
You got a lot of different sounds in there, but
Oof is right.
That's a good band, dude.
That's a good band, dude.
I want to hear that.
That's a good fucking band. All right. Well, I would do mine. I'm gonna throw Pert on drums.
Oh wow, yeah, recent, yeah.
I'm gonna throw Cliff Burton on bass. Dio on vocals. Dio on vocals goes without saying. Best vocalist of heavy metal history. Now guitars I'm split on. I really want to do 2 guitars.
Well, I mean, it's your dream band, so you could do whatever the fuck
exactly.
you want, right?
But I have 2 guitar duos that I would do. I want to see Randy Rhoads and Dimebag jam. And I also want to see Chuck Schuldiner and Jeff Hanneman jam.
Ooh, that would be a good one.
And today's actually the 13th anniversary of Hanneman's death. So
right, I saw that, yeah.
I'm not going to say R.I.P. after every name that I say in my Heaven and Hell band, but R.I.P.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's tough. That's a tough fucking question.
Yeah.
What do you got, Will?
I mean, I didn't think about this for very long. I didn't stress about it because the answer is John Bonham on drums, Lemmy on bass, John Lord on keyboards, Jimi Hendrix on guitar, and fucking Chris Cornell on vocals, dude. That's it.
Yeah, that
I was
band.
hoping to hear a Cornell tonight. I was hoping to hear a Cornell in that. So
yeah, I win. Deal with it.
You don't win. You don't win.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't listen to many bands with keyboards. I do, but I don't.
But you, dude, if you've listened to Deep Purple, then you know that John Lord needs to be in every all-time band of all time.
No, I know. I'm just cheap shotting you.
Yeah, I like it. It's good banter.
No, good answer,
Rhythm
bro.
section added again. All right. This is a question from a buddy of ours. Do you guys know Damon Albarn and Blur?
Blur, like the band, like song 2? Like song 2?
Yeah.
That's the question.
So our next question. Next question is, what are your individual influences?
Well, I think I've made it pretty obvious that John Bonham is my main.
Oh, Bonham.
Did I say that name before?
Yeah, I've never heard of that guy.
I don't know if you know this guy. He played in this band. It's called Led Zeppelin. They were around.
They still around?
No, the guy died. It was a weird thing, and like the guy who did the soundtrack from Tarzan tried to play drums in Led Zeppelin. I don't know if they thought like the Monkees and all that shit was all the same thing, but yeah, little band Led Zeppelin. But John Bonham, Queens of the Stone Age, Caius, Josh Homme, big influence on myself, and obviously Bill Ward and Black Sabbath and Electric Wizard and Red Fang and all the bands that these other guys are going to say.
Yeah, that's the thing. Whoever gets to go first kind of gets to steal the thunder on this. But go ahead, Gary.
Yeah. No, I'd agree. Burt Ward's definitely an influence. Black Sabbath, the Giza. I don't know. For specifically this band, yeah, a lot of just fucking doomy blues, baby. That bong ripper, bongzilla, everything that rhymes with bong and has bong in front of it. Pantera, Opeth, fucking, I don't know. I can go on for days, right?
Yeah.
Acid Witch,
Yeah.
Acid King.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah,
Sleep,
King is sick.
fucking Red Fang, Witchcraft. So much, right?
Yeah. Well, these guys pretty much said every band that I would have said. I guess specifically, just say Iommi, which is pretty obvious if you listen to any of our stuff. Pike. Actually, David Gilmour lately, I've been getting back into Pink Floyd a lot, and it's not really reflective in my playing to this point, but I've been trying to learn more Floyd and more of Gilmour's style. Actually, it's funny. I downloaded. I really wanted to learn all of Echo, so I downloaded the Guitar Pro of that. And I'm like, okay, I'm really gonna work away at this, learn all the leads. Spent a good couple of days on it, and then I went to play along with the studio track and the live at Pompeii, and the solos that are in this Guitar Pro are not the solos at all that are in any of the actual recordings that Pink Floyd did. So I friggin' wasted all this time on that. But the real David Gilmour and the Gilmour clone who prepared that Guitar Pro track are huge influences.
Next question.
Okay, moving on. Well, we kind of had similar. This is pretty similar to even what we just answered. But what person inspired you each the most to get into music?
Which person?
Yeah.
Can I just get mine out of? It's John Bonham. Okay, next.
All right. I'll say fucking.
Bonham answered every question for Will.
I'm gonna say probably Dimebag. Seeing live videos of him with that fucking Van Halen energy on stage and just shredding, I'd say that probably inspired me the most. Going back to those old home videos and shit, yeah, dude.
I still haven't seen those home videos. I gotta watch those.
Oh man, 3 from Hell, baby. The good one.
Yeah, it's tough to think of just one person. I don't know. I said my cousin Jeff. He was a guitar player that influenced me. I don't know, getting into again early bands when you're 13, Sabbath, even AC/DC. That was kind of the gateway band for me from listening to more rap stuff when you're in grade school to getting into rock and metal. So it's not really a person, but anyways, that's what I got for this question.
All right, rap is Jay's influence.
Big time.
What's your favorite rappist?
All right, so we got a couple questions.
That's his vice.
Got it. Dr. J.
Dr. J.
All right.
Coming in hot. We got a couple questions from Chris, who runs the Doom Tune podcast. I did an episode with him a couple months back. I think it's episode 97. Check out his page. He's done a lot of awesome interviews with bands. He's interviewed Dixie Dave from Weed Eater. He's interviewed Ruby the Hatchet, Holy Grove. Our friend Mark Zola from Pink Cocoon that unfortunately weren't able to play with in April. But anyways, he's got a couple of good questions here. What song did you crank up in the car just after you graduated high school? Now, I don't remember exactly what happened to me when I graduated high school, like the last day or when I got my diploma. But I will say, Garrison, who was there for this, that when we went to my grade 12 prom and we rolled up to it, and I had this stupid hat on, I had my long hair, and I was wearing this chain with the suit. But we were listening to Delivering the Goods by Judas Priest. It was such a fucking awesome roll-up song that even though it's not really like the day I graduated high school, that's what I'm going with.
Delivering the Goods. Fuck yeah. I was going to say the same thing. Now, just to clarify, we did not go to prom together, but we did go to prom together in my car.
That is helpful for viewers to understand our history.
Yeah, I do remember driving you to
Yes.
I can't remember a specific song. I'm just gonna probably say Pantera Rock the World, baby. And also Delivering the Goods.
Nice.
When I was in high school, I was a huge I don't know if I've said this band before, they're called Led Zeppelin. Huge Led Zeppelin fan. And
No, tell us about it.
I actually Led Zeppelin. Zed Leplin.
Sick Cougar?
Fucking all these guys, man. They play on the oldie station. It's just this weird thing that I listened to when I was a kid. But fun fact, in high school, I actually blew the speakers in my family's 2000 Toyota Sienna. Blew the speakers because I listened to Physical Graffiti too loud. So I would say probably off that album, probably like the Rover would have been the one that I would have listened to probably on my grad day.
Fuck yeah. So this is another one from Chris from Doom Tomb Podcast. So if this one's takes some thought. So if your music could be in a movie soundtrack, what genre or movie franchise would you like to be featured in? Like genre, I don't know. I guess horror would probably be like a good fit. Like throw a tune in maybe Evil Dead or something. It'd have to be maybe Burnout or Visions could fit in something like that.
I picture a horror movie that takes place at a strip club, and I have no idea why.
Dude, have you watched any of the new, like, the seasons of Ash vs. Evil Dead?
Yeah.
You guys know me. Yeah. I'm 100% throwing down for Evil Dead. Horror,
yeah.
Evil Dead, let's go. We could fit into any one of those movies, dude. We have such a wide variety of tunes.
We could be the highway star that Evil Dead had. We could be their highway star.
We could be their fucking space trucking. Is that what you're trying to say?
Sorry. Make me look like an idiot. You say it.
Yeah. No problem.
Leave it in. Don't edit it out.
No, leave that in.
Oh no.
What did I just say? I sat back on that question because I knew I would. I thought you'd have a different answer, but mine would be Evil Dead. So I got to just back you up. As soon as you say that, Evil Dead 101, baby.
I'm double
movies
right now.
or show. We would fit them both.
I'm double fisting right now with a Lemmy cup that has iced tea and whiskey in it and a beer.
I have in front of me a signed Evil Dead 2 poster.
Look, the other side, it's got the little Ace of Spades thing on it. It's cool. Birthdays.
Be cool to because there's a lot of themes that kind of run through our songs that are pretty similar. If we had our own movie about the Holy Drifter, we could just make the soundtrack our album.
Should we try answering this question again?
No, I like the Seinfeld quality of it, where Will's on a completely different thing than Garrison is. And
I like that. We're on the same page, but totally, not.
Totally different.
Love it. I should have just answered that question right off the bat because we would have had no fumbles.
All right.
All right, did we answer the question?
No.
I think we did.
Ash versus Evil Dead. That's where we'd see our band.
I said either or. We could fit into the movies or the show. We could throw Solar Burnout into Evil Dead 2 easily.
Oh yeah.
As well as Evil Dead 1. We could do Green
either
Vision at the end of Evil Dead 2. You could do, oh man, come on. Let me get on that franchise somehow.
Yeah, definitely. I almost want to say the Terminator franchise somehow, but I don't think we're I don't know. I can't really see any of our songs actually fitting in that.
I think we'd fit into Rocky, no problem.
Yeah, as like a
Rocky
training montage.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Got no management.
Yeah. The end of Holy Drifter in the moment where you finally knock out I don't know, Drago or whoever the hell.
Dude, Mr. T. Fuck it.
Perfect.
By the end of Holy Drifter, Will looks like he's been knocked out.
He caught me in a sip.
All right. Rolling right along. What was the first album each of you bought with your own money?
Well, not to topic, but it would probably be Eminem's Marshall Mathers LP. True. Eminem's second album. That would probably be it, honestly. Be around 2001. Be 12.
I thought I had it, but the first album that I bought was The Essential Stevie Ray Vaughan. And I was like 9 years old. That was the first CD I bought. Oh my God, dude, look how red my fucking eye is. What did I do?
A lot of that.
Might have got some of that piss sandwich in it.
The piss sandwich and the sweet chili heats.
No, he ate that to fix his eye.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And it's gone straight to it. Now it's a problem.
Yeah. It wasn't a problem. Now it's a problem.
Now it's a big problem.
Did everybody answer that one?
I didn't answer yet. I think mine actually might have been Rust in Peace.
Really?
Actually, because when I first started getting into bands was like when like LimeWire and all those like I guess they're still around, but nobody uses them, like those music ripping software. And I just used to burn like a whole bunch of CDs, so I never really went out and bought anything. I just had all these like weird mixed CDs. So yeah, I remember having that one as like one of the first in my collection.
That's a fucking good answer, but a shitty follow-up, I guess, because you just stole music.
Yeah, I didn't support any of the artists.
Yeah, Rest in Peace. What a good album. Shout out.
The only thing I supported was Staples, buying fucking recordable CDs.
Shout out Marty Friedman.
Respect.
All right.
All right. Okay, here's a good one. What was the first concert for each of you?
Ooh, I remember my first concert was Alice Cooper and Edgar Winter Band at the Molson Amp, 2002, 2003.
Nice.
My first legitimate concert was Rush at the Air Canada Centre.
That's sick.
Oh shit, what was the tour?
Oh, please tell me we were there.
It would have been like 2012, maybe? 2011?
The only
we saw them
time I saw Rush was on their last tour. And I don't think that was 2000.
Yeah.
I remember because I was going for a driving lesson to get my fucking driver's license. My dad's like, make sure you're not late getting home from your driving lesson because I just got 2 tickets to see Rush tonight. And I was like, oh shit. So I was speeding the entire time.
You were speeding around,
lesson.
Yeah.
I was like, we can't be late, dude. Just like doing laps in my fucking neighborhood or whatever. And yeah, so I think that would have been probably around 2012-ish, something like that.
Dude,
Nice.
a side note,
Yeah.
I remember fucking having tickets to go see Rush on 420 in Montreal at the Bell Center back in 2000. It must have been 2010 or 2011 because I was still in fucking college and we bought the tickets, me and buddies, and I had a fucking exam on 420 at 4 or 5 o'clock.
Jeez.
A taxation exam that I needed to write to pass the fucking course. And it was like, can't go, boys. Fuck.
That sucks.
On 420. We were going to fucking, oh man, it was going to be great.
Would have been a time.
Yeah. It wasn't my first concert, but it was one that I missed.
My first concert is pretty much like the standard that I've had to hold every other concert to. It was Ozzy Osbourne at the Air Canada Centre in 2003. And this was like, well, actually, it's kind of topical now. It was right after SARS. And I remember there being some question about like whether or not Ozzy was even going to play the show. And he said, fuck SARS, and played it. But it was right around the time, too, when like the Osbournes was coming out. So Ozzy's image was kind of like, you know, when you see the Osbournes, it's like you look kind of frail. But he came out and he played like a marathon set for like 3 hours and played like a bunch of deep cuts off of like No Rest for the Wicked. They played The Wizard, which I don't know how often his solo band did that one. And another like weird tidbit is that they had Jason Newsted on bass at that time. Like I think he only played bass for him on that tour. But yeah, it was fucking amazing.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Side, I don't even think this was on the list, but do you guys have like a favorite concert you've been at?
I don't think it is, but let's follow it up and we'll just let's explore that.
So no.
It's tough to answer because it might be the same one. Like,
yeah, no. As I asked that, I realized it's probably the same one for you. Yeah.
But then again, like, there are other, because it's like, okay, I was also like 13, so it's like I've definitely had like more fun at concerts that have come after that. I don't know if you can count like a whole festival as like being at a concert, but like, of course, Psycho Las Vegas in 2018. That was, the whole experience was fucking amazing. Just meeting so many people and, you know, seeing so many awesome
so fucking bands. Yeah, fuck. That was a stupid question because that's probably mine too. I'd probably say Paul McCartney would be number one or a memorable for me. Another 3-hour fucking marathon of good tunes.
Nice.
I mean, when we saw Sleep at the Danforth, that was something else because
that was sick.
That was an evening
with
Sleep. They played an hour, I think maybe an hour and a half, and they took a break.
More than that.
It was like an hour and a half, and then there was like a half-hour break, I think.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then they came back and did another hour.
They came back and they started with fucking Dope Smoker, and we thought they were gonna play the whole thing, and they ended up going for like 45 minutes, which is just unheard of.
So fucking cool.
I would say that is definitely up there.
Yeah, that was really good.
But when I saw Queens of the Stone Age with Royal Blood at the Budweiser stage a couple years ago, that was it. That was the first time I cried at a concert. That's all I'm gonna say.
There's been a lot of I've seen Maiden more times than any other band, so it's hard to name like which show they played was my favorite, but there's been like a lot of, you know, well, really every time I saw them was fucking great. Like, been a lot of great Maiden concerts in my life.
Yeah, every fucking one. What are you eating? What you got there, Will? So dramatic.
Yeah.
But so sloppy.
I've been muting my mic.
So dramatic and so sloppy.
I've been muting my mic so that I can eat chips while you guys are talking.
What a letdown.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, continue on, Will. What's the next question?
Yeah. All right. This one's coming right to you, Will. Okay. What is the one piece of equipment you want the most that you don't currently own?
Oh shit.
Oh.
Oh man.
You want a lot of equipment already.
I do. I guess a Ludwig Superphonic 6.5 by 14 from like 1971.
I guess.
Yeah, that's about it. Forget everything else.
Pretty well stocked. I would say for me, it'd probably be. I almost did order one online before I bought my OR50, but at some point I'll probably get a Mad Amp GT120, which is like the modern version of like the amps Sleep used in like the Dope Smoker days. I was very close to ordering one of those. Also, I want to get a Dunnable guitar at some point. I saw their stuff at NAMM, and it's just kind of been in my head for a long time. And they have some really sick models like Cyclops, Yeti. They have their scales extended too. So, yeah, those are probably a couple for me.
Actually, the electric guitar company makes some pretty sick guitars too. Like Buzz from the Melvins uses them, stuff like that.
I mean, for me, I guess it would be obviously a fucking Rickenbacker would be the holy grail, a nice 4003, something like that. Nice walnut, nice maple, nice natural, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, I'd go for a fucking Sun Beta, a Sun Slave or something. Not too much into the fridge amps because they're a bitch, but I'd grab like a fucking...
It's okay, your drummer has a fridge cab, 15. So you don't need one.
Yeah, but if you were to choke on a chip or something...
I was pretty fucking close there. I don't know if you saw me. I was dying, dude. I put way too many in my mouth at one shot.
See, so... I don't think... I haven't read your will, but I don't think I'm taking any of your equipment, so...
It's funny you should say that, because I went for a walk the other day, and I, for whatever reason, was thinking, if I was to die today, who would get all my stuff?
Government.
I was gonna leave you my fridge cab.
Were you?
I was. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
you were
really nice.
You were getting my fridge cab.
It's never a bad time to plan for your estate.
I just said, fuck a fridge cab. I know. That's what you're going to get me. And that says so much about our relationship. I love you, brother.
I love you too, brother. I love you.
I would play that. I would play the fuck out of that fridge cab.
I'm not even kidding. I legitimately had that thought, and you were legitimately the one that was going to get my 810.
You all take it. I just want to play a 115 on top of it. I guess.
It would be.
Take it, man. I appreciate the shout out on your will.
Yeah, it would be fitting. It'd be fitting if he left you something that you didn't want and forces you to use it from beyond the.
Yeah, dude. I left you a 12-inch splash cymbal.
Yeah, that would be the best. Yeah.
Here's your splash cymbal bass player.
I'm surprised you didn't leave me broken drumsticks, but
I know, right?
The graveyard of sticks.
You want to? I don't know. Did you guys ever see my stick collection? How many broken drumsticks?
Dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Save it for the rig rundown.
I'll save it for the rig
give me the rig rundown of your drumstick. Graveyard.
This one I broke in 2005. This one I broke in 2012.
Can't wait for that.
What song were you playing?
4 Sticks.
All right, we've only got a couple questions left.
We're still doing questions, right?
Let's just try to hold tight and get through. Okay, what songs would you like to cover in the future?
Oh, shit.
Good Times, Bad Times would be cool. What do I want to cover in the future? I don't know.
We're not good at looking forward.
No.
Yo, dude, I'll do a throwback and also maybe a spoiler, maybe just a fucking lost session. I'd still like to get back to covering the Beatles, Fixing a Hole.
Oh yeah. I forgot we were gonna cover that.
We can doom that the fuck up, dudes.
That would be sick. We still have to work on that. I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to remember how to play that song. Because we were close to doing it. We just never really put it in.
Remember how to play it, and then we'll rework it to our sound, dude. Because that'll be a good one. I'm telling you. You heard it here first. Fixing a Hole.
When we started jamming this, were we still at the Richmond Rehearsal Factory?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I feel like the first time we started jamming.
Yeah, maybe we were. I don't know. Maybe we did.
It's been like, dude, it's been like a year we've been trying to jam that song.
It was an idea, dude. I don't think we ever really jammed it. Jay learned it or like transcribed it onto 7-string or like down.
Yeah.
And we never actually jammed it. Like there's a lot of bass I would need to learn and kind of relearn for that too, because that bass line's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Mind the censor. But yeah, no, it would be a really fun song to explore. So in my eyes, that would be the answer to that question. Yeah. Fixing a Hole. I've always wanted to do that song. There's a lot of potential in that song, and we could fucking tear it up, dude. Imagine hearing Fixing a Hole doomed out in a bar.
Yeah. You're buying everyone around. You have no choice.
I'll do it. Anyone who loses their shit and sees this video, I'll buy them a shot.
Put it on Jay's tab.
You heard?
All right.
Yeah.
Code. Code JAYCRAIG. If you walk up to me, you say that code, I'll buy you a beer with Jay's card. And if you reference
so happy
what
I
song,
can make this happen for everyone.
if we play the song, bro. Only if we play the song. All right, next question.
All right.
Yeah,
we did also talk about doing a Sabbath medley a couple times, which maybe that's something we could resuscitate. But
that'd be cool.
That's something. Yeah, I'd be interested in that. It just seems like a lot of bands do Sabbath medleys. We just have to do it.
There is a lot.
You know?
Yeah, we have to think of like some deeper cuts or something to piece it together.
Yeah, you'd have to come. Yeah, which wouldn't be hard, but
no, I always thought doing like if you did like
we could come up with a 6 Sabbath medley.
Yeah, I even always thought of like if you did like an album specific medley, like because a lot of the albums are done in like one tuning, like a C sharp or like an E flat or something. So if you just kept it with like riffs from one album, that might be a cool idea to do.
Well, we also had to stop playing Fairies Wear Boots for health concerns. There was health risks that made.
Yes, Will is injured nearly put his eye out with his stick.
Yeah, that was early too. That was like
one of our
first jams.
Could have been the end before the beginning.
Yeah, that's why they call it Sun Below.
I think I was on guitar at that point.
I think you were still on guitar.
Yeah,
you might have been. Yeah,
it's either that or it was the same rehearsal where Jay played a 12-minute solo on that Cadaver song we used to cover. What was that song called again?
Doomsday Machine.
Yeah.
I erased it from
that was great.
I don't think we ever jammed that song again after that.
I don't think
I just burned it out.
Yeah, you fucking did it, bro.
Jay turned around.
I ruined it for everyone.
Stared at himself in the mirror while he played this
song. Yeah. And we never played it again.
We kept looking back and forth at each other like, is this fucking
and we're like, what is
stop?
What is this guy doing?
I remember you.
I did a couple.
You kept.
I did a couple joke bass lines in there.
Yeah, you kept going behind.
Like punchline, bass line. Like you know?
Oh my god, dude, that was amazing.
Yeah, a couple punchline bass lines, and you had no idea.
Yeah, never.
You're just so into just
eye contact is helpful sometimes when you're playing. You should look at your bandmates to see what they're doing.
I feel
No,
like I could have
but,
started playing it. It kept
yeah, I had a great.
Sometimes you need to walk over to your lead guitarist and kick him in the back of the knee and let him know what's up. Let him know what time it is. Like, you've been playing this for a while, bro.
Dude, I remember you going over to his amp and like you had your finger on the off switch and you were like, do I do it? Should I turn it off?
Yeah, just cut him off, dude.
oh.
I have no regrets. If we never play or hear that song again, it was worth it. At the time of my life.
Every fucking second, dude.
Oh, I love it. What a memory.
Yeah. So the 12-minute version of that is coming up soon. 8
It was a 12-minute answer.
So this is the last question of the night. So this is a long one, but is there room for experimentation with sounds or even song structures within your style of music? And if so, how and where? Well, I would probably just direct you to our two 12-minute long songs, Holy Drifter and Solar Burnout. And there's a lot of experimentation in those songs, and there's a lot of different parts. And a lot of it just came from loose jamming. So we basically just worked it out in the space.
I mean, the genre is unfortunately called stoner rock or stoner metal, sativa, whatever doom shit. So I think the name itself kind of protrudes experimentation, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
a bit of even psychedelia in there. All right, well, that's that's all we got time for tonight. We've been Sun Below. Thanks for checking out this Q&A video.
We've been Sun Below. You've been awesome.
Hey, if you want to buy a shirt, you can buy a shirt. Just tell us you want to buy a shirt, and we'll sell you a shirt.
What's the price? $15?
$15.
1.5.
It's whatever we tell you it is. It's a good deal. You
15.
should buy it. Whatever we tell you it is.
Message us and we'll give you your distinct price, personal price.
Yeah, everyone gets a friend's discount. You just don't know what the regular price is.
Yeah, it's $35. But message us, we'll give it to you for much cheaper, half the price.
Yeah. Big discount sale going on right now.
You're all our friends.
So Big J's.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We had some fun, had some laughs. Hopefully you learned something interesting about us. Hopefully we'll have some better news as things start to open up. If we can get back to rehearsing, might have some news on upcoming music. Probably going to be a little while for shows, but we'll try to keep content flowing and try to keep everybody entertained. Stay inside, stay safe, stay stoned. And praise Iomi. He's your friend.